Back in the day, the only way to play a video game was using physical cartridges or discs. These days, it's all about the download. While convenient, there are many issues.
The main difference between a physical and a digital game is ownership. Digital game, you don't really own that. You're being given a license to play it whenever you want, but there's no guarantee that that's always going to be there.
Josh Fairhurst, CEO of Limited Run Games, a video game publishing company, has some pros and cons of buying only digital games. We'll start with the movement to digital.
We're actually seeing like a shift in consumer preference towards digital, so the publishers are just saying it's not really worth it to go physical anymore.
This is mainly because of the file size. The new Star Wars Jedi Survivor game from Electronic Arts is 148 gigabytes, too big for one disc. Plus, it gives the manufacturer an edge in getting games to market.
If you want to ship a physical game, you have to get it approved with the platform holder like 2 months in advance of launch. If you only go digital, you can get approved by the platform holder like a week before your launch date.
And it's not just size, it's server cost. EA is getting ready to pull the plug on the digital version of Battlefield 1943.
The minute that these server costs exceed the profit that's coming in, the publishers or developers will rip them down, and then you can never play that game again.
Unless a publisher like Limited Run comes along and offers a physical version, which is next on our list.
Our main focus and goal is to always take these digital games that are not available physically and make them physical. We don't need to be there when a game launches, right? Like, we can come through 2 or 3 years later, like Doom Eternal. When that came out on Switch, there was no physical launch.
Limited Run isn't alone. There's companies like Super Rare Games and Nicholas as well.
There are hundreds of games being released every week that are digital only. It's wonderful that there's more people providing more options and more content.
We'll wrap with Josh's buying advice. He says physical is the gold standard.
From a value perspective, if you buy a digital game, you can never resell that. But if you buy the game physical, that standalone game is always going to have some value. And in some cases, it can appreciate wildly.
Josh points out that what's new today will be considered retro in just a few years, and that may equate to value.
You never know what these things could go on to be worth. They could be a gold mine. So it's like, if you have the option between buying physically and buying digitally, you might as well buy physically.
You can learn more at limitedrungames.com. From convenience to preservation, that's physical versus digital video games.